These 3 sneaky foods could be perpetuating your GERD, reflux, LPR problem. And the first one I'm going to talk about, I used to put on my toast every single morning. I'm also going to show you an alternative that is not only reflux friendly, but also boosts your gut health. If you're new here, my name is Molly. I'm a registered dietitian and I suffered with GERD for over a decade. And I was able to wean off all of my PPIs and introduce my favorite foods back in my diet. And I started this YouTube channel so that you can too. So if you haven't subscribed, be sure to subscribe down below, join the family for weekly reflux tips and healing strategies.
I felt so bad when one of my clients realized that her favorite jam that she enjoys on her toast every single morning, the second ingredient was citric acid, and it was really causing her to flare up her LPR and reflux symptoms. So if you've been also trying to find a sweet spread that doesn't trigger your reflux, this is for you. Unfortunately, so many jams and jellies contain added citric acid, which isn't necessarily a big deal in something like a bread product or a really alkaline product. When you're already dealing with fruit that might be a little bit acidic, adding additional citric acid could be problematic. So I do recommend that my clients, when they're in the healing phase of acid reflux, GERD, gastritis, LPR, that they avoid citric acid in liquid form or in jams or jellies, because the citric acid in this can kind of contact directly with the throat and be irritating. So today I'm making 3 simple versions of my go-to Chia Jam, which is rich in fiber and nourishes the gut microbiome, and there's a variety of fruit flavors that you could do depending on your preference. So I'm starting here with apple Chia Jam. I used about 5 cups of applesauce. Only ingredient is the citric acid free applesauce, so the only ingredient is organic apples in this one. And then I added 4 tablespoons of chia seeds, stir it all up, let it sit for a little bit. If you want a little bit more of a less seedy texture with any of these, you could totally blend this before you let it sit in the fridge overnight or for about an hour to set. The chia seeds are going to give you added gut nourishing fiber, but they're also going to help create that jammy texture. Next up, I did a strawberry version with about 3 to 4 cups of frozen defrosted strawberries blended with about a 1/4 cup of water, and then I added 3 tablespoons of chia seeds here as well. Give it a good mix. If you feel like strawberries are a little acidic for you right now, or they're too high in histamines for you, you could totally swap them out for peaches, pears, or apricots. All right, so finishing with our wild blueberry chia jam. Wild blueberries are a superfood for your gut. They are an antioxidant powerhouse. So what I did here was I thawed about 3 cups of blueberries. If you can't find wild blueberries, you could also use regular, and then again add in your 3 tablespoons of chia seeds. I mashed mine up with a fork because I don't mind a little bit more of a thicker texture here, but you could totally blend the blueberries and the chia seeds and make it a little bit thinner and less of a seedy texture. So again, let them sit for about an hour in the fridge. They should be pretty jammy, and then overnight they will also become even more jammy, and it's so delicious on top of yogurt, toast, overnight oats, whatever you like. I cannot wait for you to try this one. Let me know if you remake, and make sure that you subscribe down below for lots of delicious reflux friendly recipes and reflux healing tips.
Oh my god, you guys, I filmed making the jams at my friend's apartment, and holy crap, walking home right now is like zone 2 workout. This is a lot. So heavy in here. This is what I do for you guys. Okay, my clients always ask me how I have my food prepped for busy days, and I literally, every time I have time, I throw some veggies on the sheet pan, I add some seasonings. I am using right now the Gourmand reflux-friendly seasonings. They sent me a bunch of these and I absolutely love them. They have a low FODMAP reflux-friendly garlic scape powder and green onion powder. And then I add lots of salt for minerals and flavor. So I'm gonna chop all this up, throw it in the oven, and then just leave it and have my meeting, come back, 30 to 40 minutes is ready. I was, though, just reminded of the next food I want to talk about that is so sneaky because it's often marketed as something healthy for your gut and healthy for acid reflux. So let me explain to you why this food is a really sneaky reflux trigger.
What if I told you that your acid reflux remedy could actually be making things worse? I'm talking about apple cider vinegar. I cannot tell you how many clients have come to me with esophagitis, reflux, or LPR. This was making their symptoms 10 times worse. Depending on the root cause of your reflux and the type of reflux you have, this could be potentially dangerous. And that is because if you have LPR or symptoms of reflux in your throat, esophagus, mucus production, this is being caused by an enzyme called pepsin, and pepsin is activated by acidity. So continuously putting apple cider vinegar in contact with your throat could make things 10 times worse. If you have hypochlorhydria or low stomach acid, this could be helpful, but you want to make sure the inflammation in the esophagus is gone before you use this.
So basically, practice extreme caution when practitioners are recommending acid supplementation. Well, it's possible some people can really benefit from this, and if it has helped you, that's awesome. I'm not trying to yuck your yum or rag on anything that's helpful to you. That's awesome if so, but I've seen way too many people coming in to see us who have had ulcerations, gastritis, worsened symptoms from using acid supplementation. So I just want to caution you against this unless you're really sure that you need it and you're sure you don't have active gastritis or active esophagitis. Vinegars are also very high histamine. I know apple cider vinegar is like a lower histamine vinegar than the others, but it still is higher in histamine. So if you're noticing things like lemon water, apple cider vinegar, things like tomatoes and spinach and avocado all aggravate your symptoms, they also are high histamine foods. So histamine is becoming a bigger part of the conversation in terms of reflux, and it's something to consider and look into if you have skin rashes, nausea, more like POTS-like symptoms. But anyways, long story short, we don't want to just be willy-nilly trying these things. You really want to make sure you're working with a trusted healthcare professional, because some of these trends in foods that are recommended for those with reflux could actually make things worse.
I wish I had $1 for every time a client told me I got the worst heartburn or reflux after a reflux-friendly soup or a smoothie, and I don't know what it is. The ingredients I chose were good, but I got terrible reflux. And this is rather interesting, and I wish there was more research on it. But what I have noticed from working with hundreds of people with reflux and also experiencing reflux myself for many years is that too much liquid during a meal is problematic from a reflux standpoint. So when we have a soup, like even if it's something like this Gut-Nourishing chicken soup that I'm making from the Flora app that has lots of great protein and vitamins and fiber, if we have too much broth, this is just like an overwhelming amount of liquid in the stomach that can reflux. So we want to just be mindful of the liquid portion here. So I would recommend having like less than six ounces or less really of the broth, and making sure you're getting some of that good chicken and vegetables in the soup, and just watching your fullness level. Sometimes it's easy to overdo the amount of volume in the stomach, which could be problematic for someone with reflux or a hiatal hernia if there's just too much volume of soup. So sometimes I'll also recommend having like a cup of soup with just a little bit of the broth, and then maybe some toast on the side or crackers to make this a little bit more of a well-rounded meal for you without overfilling the stomach. Also, soups can contain some triggering ingredients, things like really spicy ingredients, tomatoes, that might not work for someone in a reflux healing phase. So we want to make sure that we're choosing reflux-friendly ingredients like chicken, alkaline vegetables. I also really love this gourmand broth that I'm using in this chicken soup today that is low FODMAP and reflux-friendly. Again, that will be linked down below for you in the description of the video, but I would be careful with selecting the ingredients of your soups. With smoothies, this can also be kind of the same thing. If we have this massive smoothie and we guzzle it down super quickly, now there's a ton of liquid, and liquid actually moves easier than solid foods and can reflux easier than solid foods. So I'm not saying don't have soups or smoothies. I'm just saying make sure that you are chewing well when you're eating your soup, and also making sure that you're choosing reflux-friendly ingredients and not overfilling the stomach. Just being mindful of that 80% fullness level so that we're not getting too full.
So I'm going to make a reflux-friendly smoothie. Here I have a little bit of ice. I'm actually making the pumpkin pie smoothie from the Flora app. A lot of smoothies have acidic ingredients like orange juice and maybe like lemon added. Some of the fruits could also be like a little too acidic for those with LPR. So if you feel like it's burning on contact, it could be because of certain acidic fruits like citrus fruits or pineapple. So this one is gonna be made with a little bit of banana, pumpkin, which is really alkaline, a great source of fiber and antioxidants. I'm also gonna be adding a little bit of yogurt. This is actually cottage cheese, but I don't have yogurt, so I'm just adding a little bit of cottage cheese for like creaminess. The recipe also calls for a little bit of maple syrup, but I don't have any, so I'm improvising today and I'm just adding what I have. It also calls for some pea protein, and this is actually the naked protein, pea protein. I would love to add some vanilla extract to this as well, but I don't have any. And then the key thing that I was talking about with smoothies is we don't want it to be too much liquid. So I'm just adding like, I don't know, 6 ounces of water, and I think that's going to be plenty because you don't want to like overfill your stomach. You could also add a little bit more fiber to this with frozen zucchini. I love adding frozen zucchini into my smoothies, but I also don't have any, so we're just going minimal today. Also, if you're looking to gain weight, Smoothies can be a helpful way to do that as long as you reduce the liquid, so you reduce the amount of volume in your stomach. So if I wanted to gain weight, I would probably add some nut butter in here, some oats, so it was nice, rich, and higher in calories. Typically, I prefer using almond milk in my smoothies because it contains some calcium if you get a fortified almond milk, and that can also alkalize certain acidic fruits. Like if you're using berries and you want to alkalize them, you could add in almond milk that's fortified with calcium, and that can help alkaline it. But unfortunately, I didn't have that either. I'm traveling this weekend, so my fridge is a little bit low in stock. So I used some water, and I'm sure this will still taste delicious. I have the full recipe for this down below, which does include the frozen zucchini, a little pinch of pumpkin pie spice, and it's absolutely delicious. I definitely would recommend it. It's a delicious alkaline smoothie. And also just make sure when you are having your smoothies, take a moment to chew your smoothie. Chewing it a little bit will help to activate the digestive enzymes lower down in your stomach. I know it sounds weird, but you can put a little bit of granola on top, or have it with maybe one of our muffins from the Flora app, so you're getting a little bit of that chewing. Chewing is super important to stimulate your digestive juices lower down. And be sure not to chug your smoothies. I used to chug my smoothies and wonder why I had this aching heartburn. Chugging your smoothies is a recipe for acid reflux, so try to sip this over the course of like 12 to 15 minutes.
I hope this video was helpful for you. If you are looking for some reflux-friendly takeout options, I released a video recently where I reviewed 5 different popular fast food restaurants and the most reflux-friendly options, so be sure to check that one out here. And if you want weekly reflux healing tips and strategies, be sure to subscribe, like this video. It really does help to support my channel and helps me continue to provide free information out there, so thank you for your support, and I will see you in the next video.